friends. I am Abby TopKnot, TopKnot Stitcher. Welcome to my channel. This is where we talk about cross stitch. We talk a lot about my cat jam. We talk a lot about my really cool, talented, awesome stitchy friends. And I'm super excited to be back with you all today. It's been a while. It's been a really busy month, 2 months, month and a half. Oh, like 2 months. I have been meaning to make this video for a while to catch you all up on the Nashville market and just stitchy stuff in general, shop stuff in general, and then of course, how I've been doing this last month. But it's been really hard, as it has been for the world. And I'm not going to go into great detail about any of that. But I'm just really glad I woke up this morning and I was like, ooh, you know what I'm going to do today? Flosstube. And it just feels so good to be back. So I have a lot to catch you up on, and I'm semi-prepared. And so we'll see how it goes. I have really been missing Flosstube, and really I'm practicing a lot of self-compassion in this season. There's a lot that I do not have the energy to do, and so sometimes that has been Flosstube and recording and watching and commenting and even just being on Instagram and Facebook, looking at stitchy stuff, spilling my tea, normal stuff. But it's good to be back with you all. So I'm recording this on Saturday, April 18th. It is one of my best friend's birthdays today, so happy birthday, Maddie. That means my birthday's in 40 days. That's not important for anyone to know, but for some reason in middle school, we like figured out our birthdays were 40 days apart and started like celebrating that little factoid whenever we could, because why not? Um, and yeah, it's just a fun little thing. So in 40 days, I will be 30 years old. That's kind of crazy. Um, wow. I'm not a huge birthday person in general. My dear roommate and I, Birdie, her birthday is a few days from mine, and so we always celebrate together, and we're Memorial Day babies, so there's always a long weekend to enjoy. But we also kind of celebrate like birthday season, like a whole month of just using birthdays as an excuse to indulge in whatever we want to do, and it's all things we could do anytime. Like we were going to go up to Napa. Uh, we could do that any weekend, but it's extra special if it's birthday weekend. And of course, we're not going to be able to do that this year, but we'll have maybe a little wine tasting at home. Make our own Napa. Um, anyway, what was I talking about? What should we talk about? What's going on? Flosstube. Welcome, friends. I'm in a new setup again today. I have commandeered our kitchen table as my office during the week, and I decided to just film out here because I've got, a good setup and have space to spread everything out. So instead of sitting on the floor with everything in piles on the floor, I'm at a table with everything in piles on the table and the floor. I have a lot to share with you. So today I'm going to do a little bit of the normal Flosstube, show you what I've been stitching on and what I'm excited to start really soon, and kind of, whips and plans and finishes. I have 2 finishes I haven't shared with you all yet. And I will go through my personal Nashville haul, and then just share, I don't know, some shop. I don't know exactly how I'm going to talk about Nashville because it was a while ago. I went as a buyer. It was my first year. And I don't know, sorry, I'm going to shift around as I'm not used to having this setup. It was amazing. It was a whirlwind. My sister came to help me. So much has happened in the world since then. So much has happened in the shop. So many cool new designs have come out since then. Like, I'm sorry, everyone's talent is just like on overdrive right now, and I cannot even handle it. Because before I had to go to a store or do my own, what am I saying? I have a lot of stitchy stuff that's stored in my house now for my shop, and it means I can do a lot of shopping for myself, and it's very fun. So I will share with you all of my personal Nashville favorite things that I purchased. And I don't know, just talk a little bit about the Nashville experience. I don't really feel prepared for that. Look, we're gonna do a normal TopKnot video where I have kind of a plan and then also I ramble. It's how we roll. So first up, let's go through like a quick shop highlight, which is like the 5 newest things that I've added that I'm super stoked about and I want to share with you. And then we'll go into regular Flosstube stuff and then we'll do haul at the end. That sounds like a great plan. So today in the shop, the newest Bendy Stitchy designs are up and ready to go. I love my dear Michelle. It was so fun to see her in Nashville crushing it as her first year. And I'm super, super proud of her. So I think in her video today, she will be talking about these releases. And so I'm going to talk about them too because they're here. And so I think I can mostly see that. This one is a new series that she's doing. Personal is Political. So the series is going to be like modern thoughts and sayings and then more like traditional motifs. I just think that's so cool. And it's a really cool little moth, butterfly. What's the difference? I think it's a moth because it's brown. I know that there's more of a difference than that, but I don't stitch either, so this might change it though because it's so cute and the little flower and the little bird. Oh, oh. And it's nice and quick and little. I'm trying to, get excited about more little stitches because I went through all of my whips and like I have all these gigantic projects and I would like to finish more. And then she also has another new series that she's doing of like these old funky words like Kerglaff. And so this was a retreat exclusive last year and now is released. And so Kerglaff is the shock felt in bathing when one first plunges into cold water. And I'm sorry, who is bathing in cold water? Just kidding. But it's just super funny and fun and cute. Ah. And my dear friend Mitch Stitch in Australia, did the model. So it feels extra cool because it's my 2 Michelles. Okay, a couple more new things that I'm super excited about. The newest series of Chalkboard Adorableness. This is going to be a monthly series from the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch. This is the June truck, and it's those cute little strawberries and little chickens, and oh, I can't even stand it. This is not usually my aesthetic, but it's just speaking to me. So I am super excited to be carrying this series in the shop. I think I'm out of the floss packs right now, but I will try to get more. And then I also have Penelope and Peep, one of their other designs. So people are so talented. That's all I know. And then you may have already seen this excitingness, but RETM has started reprinting some of their designs. And this has been a unicorn piece for a lot of stitchers. And I saw that it was available again and I was like, yes. I'm not the world's biggest Alice fan, but like I do just love it. And then I was looking at all of their other awesome designs, and this is the one that I am obsessed with, which is Quaker Mermaid. Are you kidding me? It's so beautiful. And it's stitched like half in DMC. There's a few classic color works, but oh. So I just need to pick out a fabric. Okay, the charted one called for is, oh, it's a Fabrics by Stephanie. So maybe I'll find like a cool color and cotton one. I think she could do something magical. It's showing up really nicely on the camera. Like, that's really beautiful. In person, it's a little more yellow greenish, but I don't know if that's just this picture. Anyway, and then they also have like a Nutcracker Quaker and the Wizard of Oz one, of course, and a couple different like holiday and shaker themed ones. So beautifulness. And then speaking of Quakers, Yes, Quaker Into the Forest by Michelle Ink has finally arrived. Um, this was this is a Nashville Market release, but it wasn't done in time for Nashville Market, and they had the model on the wall, like kind of tucked into a frame with the needle still in it, and at times would like take it down and work on it. So that was kind of fun, but it's finally here and it's gorgeous, and I've got the silk packs coming in, and like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna start it because I have my Quaker Gone Haunted from last year's market release that I'm stitching on 46 count, and I would really like to get a little further with that before I take on another beautiful silk sampler that I will also probably want to do on 46 count. So we'll see. Oh, sorry. And then one last one that I want to highlight because of one particular chart with one particular name. But Blackbird Designs re-released the Sweet Land of Liberty book, and this chart is called A Salute to Abigail, I think. Is that what it actually is called? Yes, Salute to Abigail. Just had to make sure. So there are 5 gorgeous patriotic designs in this, and that's not usually my aesthetic at all, and I probably won't stitch her, but I had to have Abigail, obviously. Like, oh, she's beautiful. Felicity stitches. Jen is stitching Abigail, and it's gorgeous. And then they also just announced they're going to be re-releasing, is it summer, autumn, spring? Summer, autumn, winter? Spring, autumn, summer, spring, summer, autumn. There's only 3 seasons, I think no winter, and it's coming back out, and it's beautiful. Got some really nice birds. Um, so that is what's brand new. One more thing that I don't have quite yet because it is in the mail on its way to me, but there is a new Mirabilia. And I gotta tell you, I have kind of always been a Mirabilia admirer and collector, but not a stitcher. And that is changing because I have 3 Mirabilias that are on their way to me and that I really want to stitch, which is new and a little scary. Oh, this is a very bad picture. Hold on. Let me go to my shop instead. So there is a new Mira called Princess Eliana, and I don't know if you have seen her, but she's amazing. And she's super colorful and lively, and there's like motion in the piece, and it's amazing. I'm gonna overuse that word, but it truly is. Please hold. Why is this? I'm unprepared. My apologies. Okay. Just dropped my pencil. Look at her. I like to think that she's like kind of like Cinderella running away from the ball. Like she's like, I have better. This is not Cinderella. What am I saying? She's just like she's a woman on the move, you know? I just love it. She uses a lot of the new DMC colors, 1 through 35. And I'm excited to have a reason to need those. And I don't usually love purple all that much, but I don't know what it is about her. She just captivates me. So she's on the way. I've got her up for pre-orders right now. And then I also really want to stitch the Sampler Day. I don't know how to say it. It's something French. It's a much older Mira. It came out in like 95 or something like that. Um, and it's this beautiful garden delightfulness. I'll show you when it gets here because that will be better. And then I also really love Cathedral Wood Goddess, whatever she is. Whew, you can tell I'm not a Mira stitcher. I have no idea. But Princess Eliana, I thought was extra appealing because she does have a lot of beads, but she does not have any Krynic. She doesn't have any silks. So she's like, I think a more accessible Mira because she's all DMC, some beading, which I've not really done, but like fairly affordable and easy to do, right? So that's up on topknotstitcher.com if you're interested. And now that I've rambled for 15 minutes, mostly about shop stuff, let's get into finishes because, oh my goodness, I have two that I'm super proud of. Oh, I should have grabbed the pumpkin thing, but I didn't. That's okay. So I have two seasonal finishes to show you. The first one is Christmas, and I have shown this in many stages of partial completion, and I'm excited to show you the finished product at last. Oh my goodness, it looks so good! These are the Christmas stamps, postage stamps, Santa in Space postage stamps, cross stitch, something, something, something from Wild Violet cross stitch. And I love them so much. And so I ended up with like a million needle minders, also known as 3, on this project by the end. And so I put them in order of like when I acquired them as I was stitching each piece. So I started with Rudolph, who's adorable. And since it was a postage stamp stitch, I put on one of my TopKnot postage stamp needle minders. And then over like Christmas, like actual Christmas, I was working on Santa, and I got to see my evil twin, Ryan, the designer of this piece, in Nashville. We met up for the day, and she gave me an evil twin needle minder. And then in February or beginning of March, we had a meetup at our LNS, and I brought this piece to work on. I didn't stitch on it during the meetup at all, but I did end up going out for coffee with Delicious Threads Jen, and we were stitching and chatting. And well, she brought these to the meetup actually, but it doesn't matter. She made these awesome NorCal Stitchers needle minders for our group, which was super cool. So Jen, Delicious Threads, makes really awesome needle minders. She has some new ones that are like springy and they're gorgeous. She does some cool stuff. Go check her out if you would like. And so since I stitched on the rocket while I was hanging out with her, of course that's on here. So I'm super proud of this. I want to find like a long skinny frame for it, but I'm not going to worry about it too much until it's closer to Christmas. If you want to stitch this, you should know that Ryan, Wild Violet, is super talented, and it's a really great stitch. It looks good individually, it looks good all in a row. I stitched mine on 32 count charcoal Belfast, which I think is a Zweigart. So if you're interested, I love it. And I stitched it mostly in DMC, the called for DMC, but I put in like one specialty color per design. So Rudolph is in Classic Colorworks something. Santa, his snowsuit is in, I think, a Victorian motto, Summer Winds, like a periwinkle. And then this one probably you can see the least, but the red rocket ship is in Classic Colorworks. No, Gassed Cardinal? I don't know. No, they don't have one called Buckeye Red? Buckeye? I don't know. I'm a great Flosstuber. I love it. The other thing I finished is kind of a Ryan Wild Violet related piece because I did this while I was with her. We went to the Primitive Hair Halloween retreat at Sassy Jack's Stitchery last October, and this was our retreat piece. It's so good! Wow! I super, super, super love this. So this was an exclusive design to the retreat, and we were given all the materials for it, and it's charted for just like Primitive Hair Old Salem spell. But since we were at Sassy Jacks, I was like, well, I could put in something fancy. And so this is Primitive Hair, like Crunchy October fabric, which was absolutely perfect. And I love it so much. So I made a couple color changes because obviously I changed the black cat to an orange cat for jam. And I used Classic Colorworks Pumpkin instead of the DMC. But since this H was supposed to be orange and my cat was orange, I ended up switching the colors of the letters so that it was a little more balanced. And then somewhere in my border on this side, I got off a stitch so that, Jam just made a weird noise. You can see this kind of runs into it, and it's a little wonky, and it was like not at all worth it to change, so I just made it work. And then I finished this, and then I noticed this like almost right away, but I didn't want to go back to change it, and it just made me laugh so hard. But somehow when I was going in to fill in this border, I think I had a gap of orange, and I was working on like the back stitch or something in black, and I just filled in that little corner with black stitches. What? It's so weird, but I just left it because it made me laugh. So my little spooky night to all. I think before I like finish it, I'm gonna add one more little something to that shelf so that it matches, like this goes all the way up to the edge, but otherwise it's done. And the kit that we were given has these really cool, the backing fabric and then these like felt leaves. And it was made to be kind of like a dangly, beautiful wall hanging type of thing, but dangly does not work in my house because I got jam. But I found this really cool wooden pumpkin at the dollar spot at Target that I'm gonna put it on instead, and it's gonna look amazing. And then may or may not use the leaves. So once I find my chart, which I don't know where my actual chart is, I just have my working copy, I'll be doing a giveaway for the floss and backing stuff and maybe the leaves. Uncertain. So that one of you, can stitch your own spooky night. Ooh. Okay, that was fun. Make sure there's nothing else important in here. So Ryan, you better get to working on yours so that we can be evil twins come Halloween. Speaking of Halloween, I'm wearing a ghost shirt. And it says boo, boo. Why? Boo, B-O-O-H. Has anyone ever spelled boo, B-O-O-H? I don't know, but it was washing me out too much in the bright light, so ghost, gotta go. So those are my two finishes. I actually have a third finish, but I can't share it with you, plus I don't have it with me because it was a model stitch. And I have, no, that's the only one I can't, yeah, that's the only other finish that I have. I would have had one more finish, also a Ryan Wild Violet piece, but I did not have one of the DMC colors, and I ordered it, but my package got lost in the mail, and it's still on its way because postage is slow right now because as essential as needlework is, it's not life or death. But I have almost finished this design, which is the free Be Well and Stitch from Ryan Wild Violet. If you're not aware of this whole Be Well and Stitch action, dozens, I was going to say hundreds, but that might be a stretch. Dozens of designers have created beautiful patterns that they have posted on their websites and Instagrams and Facebooks and whatever for free, with the theme Be Well and Stitch, because the world is scary and stressful, and it's a lovely little warm hug reminder from the Stitchy community. And so Ryan has made this beautiful little moon, what did she call it? A moon crystal bouquet. So I'm missing two colors actually. One will like fill in the rest of the moon, and then there's another like blue color for this crystal, and then it will say "Be Well" underneath. And I have no idea what this fabric is. It's showing up really purple. It's a little bit more gray in real life, but it's beautiful. I think it's 36 count. I have no idea what it is or what it's from. I think it's like just a little like scrap that I think I got off of a freebie table at a retreat, and I've been trying to like match it up with something, but I have no idea what it is. So if that looks familiar to you at all, let me know. It's perfect for this. She charted it, I think, for like a lighter gray, and I almost did it on Stormy Clouds Lugana, but I had to go with this kind of murky, delicious night sky. Oh, it's so cute. This color palette, even though it's incomplete, this color palette is just gorgeous. And then obviously I put an extra moon on there as my needle minder. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. And I love Ryan so much. So as soon as I get that missing DMC package, I'll be able to finish that. And I could have had it done 2 weeks ago, but it's okay. Everything's gonna be fine. Okay, so that's my new start to show you, and then I'm pulling out an old whip. And I was trying to remember why I chose this one, because as soon as I got stuck on the Be Well crystal, I was trying to decide what else to stitch on, and I have a million whips, but my brain was so tired. It's holding so much information all the time and processing so much, just all the things of the world. So I was having trouble making a decision, and I don't know why or how I ended up on this one, but I am loving it. Please hold. So I kind of dug through my whips. I wanted to pick something that was like had a good chunk started, but wasn't necessarily like almost done, because I had just finished some projects. So I was like, no, you don't have to pick the thing that has 10% left that you just have been avoiding. You can do whatever you want. And so I pulled out, do I love you all enough to take it out of the Q-snap? I don't think so. Sorry. I ended up pulling out Moon Dance by Kathy Barrick. Oh, I just love it. I love that it's called Moon Dance when there is like one tiny crescent moon over here and then this giant heart in the middle. And these like goofy little turkeys. I think they're peacocks or whatever. I don't know, but they're so funky. And that is like this kind of design and color combination and kind of mismatchiness would normally drive me crazy. And I'd be like, this is, dare I say, ugly. And it's not. It makes me so happy. It's so colorful and fun and whimsical. And it's got all these like, more traditional like crown motifs and stars and flowers and the moon and blah, blah, blah. But then these like crazy little turkeys. I love it. So I started this like a year-ish ago, and I remember working on it a year ago when I was in Arizona for a retreat, and I thought it would be fun to pull back out. Not able to go to Arizona this year, but I've been working on it and just loving it. And so it is the called for threads are all DMC, I think. But I did my own little conversion using mostly Victorian motto threads. And that has been really fun because I feel like I haven't really used them a whole lot lately. I'm not a current club member. Ooh, oh, I am just like so pleased with these colors. So I'm using 5 Victorian mottos I have Tropical Wonder and Red Maple. There we go. Sweet Orange and Gold Dust Yarrow. Yes. That's hard to do with it backwards in my screen. And then Mustard Shades. And then I'm using Classic Colorworks Mint Julep, which is a lovely light teal. Goes with that. And then this, oops, Gassed Brethren Blue, which is a little darker and murkier, but it's used mostly for like the bottom border. And then a couple little accents. So, I mean, that's a pretty delicious thread palette. I know that my girl, Trisha at Three Owl Threads is working on this, unless she's finished it. I don't know, but I love it, and it's colorful, and it makes me happy. So I've been really just working on that. It's been nice because with that giant heart, I can like stitch motifs when I have the brain space to stitch motifs, and then I can also just fill in that heart when I need a break. So it's been a nice like combination of like restorative stitching as well as stimulating stitching. Are those stitchy terms? I don't know. Who knows? Okay, so that's really like the main progress I've made. I think I've put in a few stitches here and there, but then been kind of like, this isn't the right one. This one I've really enjoyed also because I'm stitching on like a random even weave from my stash that I think is 28 count. Maybe it's 32 count, I'm not sure. And it's not even weave, that's a linen. Got crazy slubs. But I don't know, it just really spoke to me. And I have been using ball tip needles on this project, and oh my goodness, I love them so much. I tried one at a retreat with Ryan, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then I forgot about them for months. And then I was placing an order for my shop, and I was like, oh, do you know what I want to try again? Ball tip needles. So I got some, and then I had to get more in all the sizes, and I love them. And so if you haven't tried them before, I recommend you check it out. If you, like, I've never really cared that much about my needles, like I will kind of look for the one that is the right size. I like a size 26. I do not really love 28 or petites in any way. That doesn't work for me. And then I tend to stitch using like the up and down, like Vanna's method, where you don't actually turn your needle. And so I like one that doesn't have too sharp of an eye, because I don't know if this is making sense. There's no thread on this, so it might be harder to see. But like, I've got my needle. Vanna does the method where she doesn't turn her needle, but she would like stitch like that, and then it would just go back up rather than like, And so with her method, she stitches with the pointy side down and then pushes it back up. I stab myself every time if I try that, but I do stitch with the pointy side up and the eye of the needle going through the fabric, and then you just come back up with the pointy side. I don't know if that's making any sense. This is obviously not the right setup to show you. But because of that, there are a couple needles that I have found really are not as conducive to that. This one, the eye of the needle is also nice and slim, so you can do it pretty easily. It kind of defeats a little bit of the point of the ball tip needle because you're not using half of it, but when you're coming back up, it's like perfect. And I think the point of the ball tip needle is that it kind of opens it helps you like find and open the right hole in the thread so that the floss doesn't get as smushed on the way down. I don't know the technical terms. I just know I really like them. And they're kind of expensive, which is why I had never tried them before. And I really don't notice a difference between brands of needles. I'm sorry. But I really like these. And I can feel the difference. Plus, it makes me like actually pay attention to where I put my needles rather than just kind of throwing them at a needle minder that's on I have a metal bookcase with all my needle minders, and sometimes I just toss needles onto it and then I never actually have needles where they're supposed to be. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Anyway, enough about that. Um, I have not yet picked this back up, but I will be because there is a new Facebook group for a newly revitalized stitch along for And a Forest Grew. And I started this piece in on New Year's Day in 2017, no, 2018. Hold on. It's going to be 2020. It's going to be my 3-year Flosstube anniversary. It was 2018. So January 1st, 2018. Whew. And I have really not worked on it much at all in the last year. I did a couple like magical stitches homework assignments for it, but I have not touched it much. Oh, look how tiny it is. Look how gorgeous it is. Oh my goodness. So I'm stitching my forest 1/1 on 25 count Stormy Clouds Lugana, and I absolutely love it. I don't know why I've put it down for so long. I know that sometimes the motifs kind of tire me out, especially the little teeny tiny trees. Those are hard because like a tiny motif will have 7 colors, and that is really uh, a lot more taxing when you are stitching it over one or with one strand, to me at least. But I'm really excited to pick this back up. It's going to be so tiny and adorable. Ugh. So if you have this piece or have been wanting to start it or have it but haven't worked on it or whatever, like please join us. This SAL is like officially organized by, or maybe, I don't know, maybe there are other people doing this too. Erin from Two Martini Stitcher and Jen stitching in the Bluegrass Stitcher. Sorry, Jen. And who else? I don't know. Wonderful, wonderful stitchers. So there's a Facebook group for it, and it's super exciting. And I'm excited to jump in, have a head start, and get some progress on this. Oh, I'm sure you all watch Amy Loves Toads, and if you don't, you should go watch her because she is just a dream. Amy, I just want you to know that like I always save your videos to watch like in the evenings. Most of my Flosstube watching happens in the mornings, and I've not been watching a whole lot of it because it kind of stresses me out right now. Um, but Amy, you are the person I watch to like settle down, and it's just lovely. Your voice is so soothing, and you're so sweet, and your projects are beautiful, and then you have your forest on your sampler wall behind you, and you've been a huge help to me in the last couple months. So thank you, Amy, for just being awesome. And to the rest of you, if you need a lovely, lovely stitcher to stitch with, check out Amy. I was gonna say one more thing, was I? No, yes. I'm putting my And a Forest Grew in my new project bag that I am completely obsessed and in love with. Joe, your Instagram handle of Opera Joe makes me always want to call you different names, but Stitching the High Notes has, so if you don't watch her, she has this amazing platform for both knitters and stitchers and sewists and just like everybody. She's a very welcoming presence. I got to meet her finally in March at our meetup, and that was wonderful. So hi, she's my neighbor, kind of. We're both in the Bay Area. And she's just so sweet and delightful and just, oof, I just feel like watching her videos, Joe, watching your videos, Joanna, Joanne, I am like totally blanking and I'm embarrassed. And I would edit this out, but it's all real life. It's all fine. It's fine. Um, anyway, watching your videos just makes me feel like I've gotten the warmest possible hug, even more so now that I've gotten a real life hug from you. So I look forward to the day where we can stitch together again sometime, and maybe you can help me learn how to knit because I really feel that urge growing in this time of quarantine and because just like maximum coziness. So we'll see. We need to get a little chillier. Anyway, all of that to say, she has this really great online shop. She posts project bags. I think it's just the first Saturday of the month. She'll put up new things, and a lot of them are more knitting geared, so they're like boxier and whatever. But she posted about this month's design, which was a new like little briefcase style project bag, and then she also shared the fabric, and I was like, oh yes. So I set an alarm for as soon as the bags were going to go up. Are you kidding? Look how amazing that is. Okay, so first of all, it's vegetable fabric and it just makes me happy. Second, it's got the orange trim, and you know orange is now my color because of jam, along with black and gray, don't worry. It's got this fabulous little handle. It's this lovely bag. It is a very nice size. This fits an 11 by 11 Q-snap. It's not actually put together right now. But this is going to be my new and a force grew bag. It would be so funny if I was doing and a garden grew because veggies. Ooh, that's okay. Um, it's super well made. It's got a little music, a little treble clef zipper pull because she's Opera Joe stitching the high notes. Oh, it's amazing. And then inside, she's got it. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to show this, but it has a sweet, sweet little pocket with the fabric, and then also one of these little clippy things, which I am super excited about because um, I can't tell you, I sit in the same spot every evening when Birdie and I are watching TV and I'm stitching, and I have the same project bag, and somehow every other day my scissors are gone. They're not on the little table, they're not in my bag, they're just gone. So luckily I sit right next to my little shop annex where I have embroidery scissors for sale, and so I just take a new pair, just buy myself a new pair of scissors. Anyway, I'm excited to have a nice little pocket and a nice little clip for those scissors to stay safe. This is amazing. I love it. I'm super excited for it to like help me want to stitch even more. I finally feel like I'm getting into my stitchy groove again. The beginning of the year was kind of a slump of just I don't know. I was really sad that magical stitches kind of fizzled out for me in terms of being really fun and motivating and rewarding and just like I don't know, it kept things interesting. It helped me be creative with my like explanations for projects. And then I like started looking at it and just it just melted my brain. Like I cannot possibly keep track of all these crazy things, and I have a busy job and a business, and like no. Um Not that it I mean, yeah, anyway. It became a chore and it wasn't fun anymore. So I obviously like took a break from it, and then but it was really hard to like feel like I was making progress on things, and I couldn't decide like how I wanted to keep track of stuff or decide what to stitch or anything. And that was just like discouraging to just, I don't know, not feel as motivated. And in some ways it was fine because I put a lot of that energy into my business and shop updates and all of that, the new website, all kinds of things. Um, but I am really glad that that stitchy inclination has returned, especially now that we're all at home and I have a little bit more time to stitch. And that's been a lovely part of this month. So I look forward to having even more stuff to show you next time we talk. But I think with that, let's get into like my Nashville haul. I don't think I'm going to talk about my Nashville market experience in this video because I want to have a few more like formed thoughts. But a little bit about like what I would love to talk to you all about what I did to prepare for Nashville as a buyer. A little bit of like how I went through the weekend, how things went in the weekend, how I approached market. I had my sister helping me, so kind of like how we divided and conquered, my organization plan going in, and then kind of like the aftermath of getting everything up, and then what I will do differently next time. So if you have any questions specifically about that, I would love to answer them. Months ago, I talked about making a small business like side hustle Q&A because I work a full-time job and then also now have this online shop that I've had for a long time, but has really grown exponentially over the last year. And so really learning how to like balance both of those things and not go crazy working all the time. And that is especially important to me now that I'm working from home for the foreseeable future, because then it really does feel like I'm just working constantly because I don't have those like forced commuting breaks, and I don't have that's like my transition time, right? It's like my commute and then I'm in work mode and then my commute home and then I can be in TopKnot mode. But now it just all blends together and it's really easy to work without breaks if I'm not careful. So that's a whole bigger conversation. So please let me know what questions you have about attending Nashville market in general, as a buyer, as a first timer, as an online shop versus like brick and mortar, all that stuff. I would love to chat about it. That being said, let me show you what I picked out for myself from Nashville because I love it. If you're not into haul, if you don't want to hear me say a million times, you can get this on my website. You can take off. It's cool. But please do check out my shop, topknotstitcher.com. Ooh, my computer just went to sleep for a second. Topknotstitcher.com. What else am I saying? Sign up for my newsletter. I'll be sending out a fresh newsletter real soon. I haven't done that since before market. Whoops. If there's anything that you would like to see me carry or do, like please, I would love to know. I've had a couple people reach out asking me to kit things up or help them complete their like week's dye works collection or whatever it might be, and I would love to help you with that. I currently, have a very small shop space, but I will be expanding into my roommate's bedroom as she moves out. I will be taking over studio space, so I will have more space to do the things that we all love. So, all that being said, would love to know what you guys would like to see, and how I can provide that top-notch level of service. Let's talk Nashville more. Okay, all that being said, I went into market and I was like, I don't really need a lot. There are like two kits that I really have my eye on, and otherwise, like, it'll be cool. Maybe I'll pick up a chart or two, but like, I really didn't go in with a wish list. I think largely because I was like so focused on just like trying to figure out what I was doing, since I hadn't been before. But I knew for sure that I wanted to get this kit because it makes me laugh so much. And I think I've showed this before, but not the actual kit. It says be easy at stitching. It's so good. And then you will be stung. I love it. I love it so much. Um, so this is Primitive Hair. This is, I think, a Nashville exclusive. It is. And you get the board and fabric. You don't get the DMC, but it looks like it calls for like 3 colors. And you get the like finishing materials. And I love it. So I'm going to make this, and maybe I should start it soon since I'll have my studio space soon. But I'm going to hang it on the door of my new studio. And then that also, like, getting more excited and more excited about that has made me also really want to stitch like any sewing themed pieces for that room. So I have a new aesthetic and it is stitch themed, which will come through a little bit in what I will show. Okay, so that one I was super excited about. Izzy of the Primitive Hair also has this new fabulous bee printed linen. I don't know if you can see that. Yes. And I'm not a huge bee person, but like this just it's it's just really pretty. And in her, I have to show you more stuff. In one of her books, designs, where is it? Why is it not here? Or is it here? Or we will come across it later? Oh, friends. Okay, well, at some point I'll find it and I'll show you the chart that I want to stitch on it because I love it. I also fell absolutely in love with Dinky Dye silks, just across the board. They're so beautiful. I have a couple, but I've never actually stitched with them, and their colors are so fantastic. So this is one of the new colors. This is Harvest, and look at that. I have no idea what I'm going to use it for, but I super, super love it. Oh, and I've been looking for this packet. These are a couple of the other new colors, like super bright and gorgeous and luscious, and they're so soft and just like, ooh, ooh. Let me see. Oh, trying to make sure I'm not just putting everything in random piles, but in organized, messy piles. Okay, so that was Primitive Hair. That was silk. That was linen. I also, of course, have, like the rest of the world, fallen in love with both of the new Gentle Art colors. So we have, where'd that paper go? Okay, get it together, Abby. The Witching Hour, which is this really lovely dark, deep brownish, purplish, and then Glass Slipper, that's really washed out. I don't know how to help you, sorry. I feel like Witching Hour has gotten all of the buzz and Glass Slipper has not, and it is just the most delicious silvery gray, and I love it. Love it. So I think right now I'm sold out of Witching Hour because it was super popular and everyone fell in love with it, but I have a few Glass Slippers at the moment. That goes over there. Okay. This has been getting a lot of buzz because Michelle Bendy Stitchy has finished hers and she should be getting her scissor fob kit soon. But this is the Death Rose needle case from Fern Ridge Collections. It's a whole kit. You get, it's like a functional, beautiful accessory. Just, I don't know. This is not my aesthetic, typically. I say that a lot. I guess everything is kind of my aesthetic. Anyway, you get all the stuff for it. You get the silk threads, you get the little wooden ruler and bobbin winder and the little skull waxer and all the beads, and it's just super cool. And it looks simple enough that I could finish it myself if I wanted to. And then they also made a matching beaded scissor fob, which I don't think I'll be doing, but Michelle should be getting hers. I mailed it to her this week, so she should have hers. And I'm excited to watch her learn to bead. And if she can do it, maybe I can do it too. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, it is stunning. So I have a couple of those still. And that's from Fern Ridge Collections. And they are the absolute nicest, sweetest women you will ever meet in your life. They were so welcoming and warm and bubbly. And they have a lot of really adorable kits of like awesome little notions, booklets, and such. Awesome. Keeping with the kits, this is Satsuma Street Pumpkin King Nutcracker, and I just love him so much. Like his little pinstripe pants and his little jacket and his little candy cane scepter. It's just delightful. I've never really done a kit like this. It comes with all the floss and the beads, and I think it's on perforated paper, I'm assuming. It looks like it's silver perforated paper, um, which I haven't used before, but he just makes me laugh. So I'll start that at some point. Who knows? Okay, let's see. My pile kept growing. Um, these are a couple of releases from Marjorie Massey, Prairie Girl Sampling, and Teresa Shakespeare's Peddler is distributing for her. So she had these in her room at Nashville. She had a bunch of gorgeous, gorgeous designs. I feel like you can't see my face at all. But this one I loved because the bunnies this year just spoke to my heart. I don't know why, I don't know how, but I was into all of them. So you'll see a lot of bunnies in this pile. But this one is called The Bunny and the Bird, Indigo Bunny and Bird, sorry. And it's just really pretty. Gorgeous. And then I have a few of her designs, but the other one that I really liked was this like Quaker Street. Yes, Quaker Street. Oh, I've been really loving the Quakers lately. They're pretty cool. My girl Lucy Beam. So she did the I will cut you. There it is. Rebecca Nolan. She is sassy and hilarious and very, very skilled. And so she has the I will cut you design, which I'm definitely also going to stitch for my studio door. But then I also want to stitch this one for my studio door. Be stitchy. This isn't what I was thinking of earlier, but yeah, I'm going to do that. That's brilliant. It calls for some gentle art threads and then buttercup fabric. Nope, I'm going to do this. Oh, that's going to be good. That's going to be really good. I wonder what would happen if I did bee stitchy on this bee linen with that silk thread that I dropped somewhere safe. I don't know if that, like for the border, do you see the border in that? I don't know if that works for me, but that might be too much. Depends what I pick for the bee stitchy part. Anyway, love it. Lila Studio, she wasn't at market, but her charts were in the Hoffman room. And so I really am digging this coffee theme and bunny theme. Very heavily prevalent in my market experience. Stressed, blessed, and coffee obsessed. I don't do cutesy, but yes. Yes to all. It's so, ooh. And like, what a cute little finish. I love it. Like, why aren't there more octagonal designs? That's what I want to know. Back to Shakespeare's Peddler, she's also distributing for Hands to Work, or Hands to Work Revisited. She is like reprinting some of her designs, and so, I got the bunny. This one's called Be Not Weary, and he's just so cute and sweet, and the model, oh, it just melted my heart. Oh, I love him. That little flower, I don't know. I just love it. We are talking a lot today. This one is called My Dear. It's also Hands to Work Revisited, and it's just so cute. Meh. And then I got Ida May. I already sold out of her and have not restocked that. So I won't show you and taunt you. The Blackberry Rabbit came out with two gorgeous butterfly designs. This is the smaller one, so it's the one I picked for my stash. But I absolutely love it. And then the kind of companion to this last year was like Queen Bee or something. So I have both of those, and I am gonna do something with them. Maybe. This is another Blackberry Rabbit. I haven't really seen this get any attention, and I don't know what it is. I'm not going to stitch the quote on this, or I will change the quote, but something about this tall, skinny house and that beautiful sun and this girl who needs a top knot. And the flowers and I don't know if it's like the colors or just like what it is. It comes with this absolutely beautiful hand painted button of a bird and the flowers, and it is so pretty. I might just turn that into a needle minder for myself so I can admire it the whole time that I'm stitching it, and then I could just needle it, like, I just leave the needle minder on the piece when I fulfill it. I like that. I love these like two bees. Like, what are they doing? Just hanging out, looking like, come on, focus. Or don't. So the text says friendship blooms in the garden of life, and that is not my style. But I could definitely just leave that out or put in something else. I don't know what text I would substitute, but I just, that house, that chimney, it's got a heart coming out of it. I don't know what it is, but I love this, and I feel like I haven't seen it anywhere. So don't sleep on the blackberry rabbit, please. We have a big pile still. This is gonna be a long one. This is one of the Annie B's designs, and once again, this isn't really my aesthetic, but I love it. This is Threadneedle Street, and so it's just these cute little houses, and then they have this little like, I don't know if it's like a garden in between. It made me think of like a tomato-shaped fountain. Like, what a cute neighborhood addition that would be. But the text on this says, "We don't say goodnight till our stitching's complete. That's how we roll here on Threadneedle Street." And I love that it's like, very like traditional-ish, but then it says, "That's how we roll." Oh, and it's got a moon, so that's gotta happen. Here's a coffee theme one that I super love. Misty Purcell Luminous Fiber Arts. This was her first year at market. She crushed it. Girl, you're amazing. She was on Fiber Talk recently, and it was just really lovely to hang out with you all over again at Nashville Market at Fiber Talk, on Fiber Talk, whatever. She talked a lot about Nashville. This is my favorite design from her this market. Coffee first, then the worm. And the colors are just so fun and bright and beautiful, and that little chickadee and the teacup and the flowers. Oh, I love this color palette. What is this stitched on? Weeks Dye Works and Classic Colorworks. Yeah. Sorry, now I'm getting distracted. It's beautiful. So, way to go, Misty. Make a different pile. Oh, here's the primitive hair book I was trying to find. This is Hair Seasons Summer, and it has 6 designs, 5, 5, 6, or 7 designs, including this Oceanarium treasure box. Look at that octopus. Except he's kind of a septopus? No, hexapus? Because he only has 6 tentacles on there. But I'm sure he's growing the other 2 back. Anyway, he's super cool. There's this little sea hag sign, which I love because there's this restaurant in my hometown, and they have like the fancy restaurant upstairs, and then like a little bit more of like a pub vibe downstairs called the Sea Hag. It's cute. This is what the bee linen. This is like called for bee linen. This is Summer House. Look how cute that is. But that is a lot of bees. We'll see. Oh, that's Summer House again. There's a little needle case, lots of little cute strawberry stuff. Lots of really detailed finishing instructions for all those little notions and stuff. This is a little clutch. I want to stitch a little clutch, of course. Oh, it's like a little needle case clutch. Anyway, it's super cute. I'm a fan. Rosewood Manor, hunter-gatherer. I don't know what it is about this piece, but like this action, actually, if I stitch this, maybe I'll just do that part. No, but these colors are so pretty. Oof, I just love it. Like that stag, that little wolfy dog, coyote, whatever it is, that falcon. I'm totally making all these names up other than the stag. I feel good about that. Um, and I love that Karen Kluba always does this, where she has like little um, like mini samplers that you can like mix and match from the design. So they're like different motifs, and just she shows you how you can like mix them all up and make little smalls. And she gives you charts for a lot of stuff, but she like tells you to be creative and like make it your own. And I just think that's so, so cool. And oh my goodness, their room at market, just like floor to ceiling models as far as the eye can see, which the eye can't see that far because it's a pretty small like hotel room, but still, it was super impressive. And I love this. I love this piece. This is my favorite of her, obviously, because it's the one that's in my haul. My favorite of her Nashville releases this year. And I don't have it with me right now, but she had like her older designs, obviously. And I did fall in love with another one that I'll share in a future video. Okay, that's twist. I don't know how you did it. Um, she published her beautiful new sampler, Consider the Lilies, in this gorgeous book, and then also made a companion book for His Eyes on the Sparrow. And I've never really thought to myself, you need to stitch those. And then I saw them in person and I was like, you need to stitch those. I don't know if that's true, but I do need to at least own those, you know? And like, oh my goodness, it's just gorgeous. So, like, this is a little more brownish than I would normally want to stitch in my life, but it works for me. This really works for me. That is, it's so pretty. I got to see it in person. It's huge. Somebody stitched that. It's amazing. So, yeah, those are in my life now. No shame. Um, I need to start like collecting all of the floss because it's a lot of floss. And yeah, she's still in 28 count. That's part of why it was so huge, but like it was so pretty. So I'm just reconsidering every decision I've ever made in my life. I also really love these little lovebirds and the little llamas from Noah's Ark. I think I have one. I have the Noah's Ark, the one with the whale. I forget what the other one is. Is it a whale? Am I thinking of the right thing? Clearly, I haven't started it, so I don't know. But I just love this one. And then Silver Creek, Silver Creek samplers. Um, Diane, so so sweet. It was such a pleasure to meet her. She was like the second person I met during early bird shopping, like designer that I met, and she was just like so warm and bubbly and wonderful, and ah, it was so nice. I think like uh, well, doesn't matter. Anyway, it was lovely to meet her. And so she has, of course, you know, anything with a moon, I'm all into. This is called Moonshine. And the text says, the moon said to me, do not wait to be whole, to let your light shine from the depths of your soul. I also really love those little trees. What is this stitched on? Oh, fabric flare. Multicolored night linen. Interesting. That's cool. Oh, may the light you shine be an encouragement to others. Thank you, Diane, you too. And then one of her other new designs, Izzy Decan, Booze and Spirits, Casket Aged. And she had the coolest display for this because she had a little skeleton. It was super cute. The little ghosties, I love them poking up, peeking. Cute. Um, Teresa Kogut really delivered. I don't know, she has like 50 new designs that she released at market. Um, and, they're all really beautiful. It was kind of hard to limit myself because you have to draw the line somewhere, maybe. Um, so I picked out two for myself. This is Strutton. I love it so much. Santa is kind of sassy. That reindeer is so sassy. That border, this little tree. Just prancing. Strutton. Love it. And then she has 4 gorgeous samplers. And I don't know if I'm going to stitch this whole sampler ever in my life, but there is one motif that I am stitching immediately. I will give you approximately 10 seconds to guess what it is, because I'm going to take a sec. Give you a close-up. Did you guess raccoon? Because you are correct. Look how cute he is. He's cute without being cutesy, like there's a couple raccoon designs out there in the world, but they're all like very, very cutesy things. This raccoon is adorable. He is cute, but he is a serious sampler raccoon. I'm sure there might be a raccoon in one of those Beth Twist samplers. I have no idea. I'm sorry, Beth, I didn't look that closely. But like, I also really love this motif. Yes, this bunny. The bunnies. I don't know. Is there like a thing that you are like newly obsessed with in stitching? Because like I feel like whales for a while, that was a cool thing. Like personally, it was a cool thing universally as well. But like bees obviously were like a thing. Like those are like big things, right? But like orange cats for me, that gets me. And now somehow bunnies. I don't know where that's from. Okay, this is my last like Nashville new thing, and I have 2 like past releases that I picked up. Um, Obviously, the Blue Flower, Huckleberry Farm. You all getting to see this stitched up in person, it is unbelievably beautiful. And those bears and that house, the little yellow house, and this moth, and like I'm obsessed with all of it. It's so pretty. This woman needs a TopKnot. That's my only complaint. It's not even a complaint. And Janine was so sweet. I placed a pre-order with her, and so she was sharing a room with Bendy Stitchy, and I went in at some point to pick it up. But I was also just popping into that room all the time to say hi to my friends. Um, and at one point on Sunday, I went in because I had I had already sold all the copies I had purchased, and I at the time like did not have suitcase space to pick up anymore. I have since restocked. But I went in and I was like, Janine, I need a copy for myself. Do you have more? Can I buy more? And she gave me this chart. And she said, everybody needs a gift from Market. Janine, you are my gift from Market. That was so sweet. That made me so happy. It made me feel like so welcomed into the Market stitchy world. Because it's kind of an interesting vibe at Market because like the designers are obviously there to, you know, network with shops and with other designers and all that kind of stuff, but like their work's kind of done, like their designs are in. Whereas like shops are frantically running around all weekend, and then, you know, it's like a friendly competition in some ways because like we're in business, we're all in this industry, and that's beautiful and wonderful, but also we're not necessarily gonna all be best friends because we have different like conflicting interests. Um, So, and like conflicting interests of just like that weekend, like I have stuff to do, I cannot talk to you, I'm sorry. Um, I hope that makes sense. Everyone I met was really lovely because stitchers are lovely in general. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, so I feel like the vibe of like getting to just like sit and chit chat and like be with each other was it's harder for like a shop owner to do because I was working nonstop all weekend. My sister would like force me to take breaks and force me to go to bed. And I would wake up in the morning and start working, and she would like make me stop and go eat breakfast because there's so much to do and there's so much to think about, and it's hard to juggle it all. Um, so thank you to my sister for helping. Thank you to Janine and to everyone that I got to meet at market. It was amazing. I will talk more about it, but please let me know what you want to know. I also will show you two things that I have acquired because of market, but picked up. Oh no, this I picked up at market, but it's an older design. This is Tiny Modernist Day of the Dead Trio, and I have seen this chart before, but I saw the model stitched up in this little cat. Oh, I love it. So I picked that up. I think it was like her last copy, or I would have, snagged a whole bunch. Um, I should stock it now that we're back to real life. And then this I placed an order with Janine aftermarket to get more Huckleberry Farms, and I was also like, I need this in my life as well, please. So I have this in my shop because it's just, she needs a TopKnot. Stitchers, designers, I need more TopKnots, please. But the text in this says, "In the forest of the night, what immortal hand or eye?" Oop, no, sorry, I started the wrong spot. Let me start over. Tiger, 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 burning bright in the forest of the night, what immortal hand or eye does frame thy fearful symmetry, symmetry? I totally botched that entire thing, so please forgive me. But it's just beautiful, and I think Bendy started this, or showed it, or someone did. I don't know, but I just loved it. It's super fun. That's my market haul. That does not include fabric. Well, no, I just had the bee fabric, but floss. Lots of floss. And I have tons of other market stuff up in the shop. So please check it out if you would like to. Please let me know what you'd like to see or what you need in your stitchy life that I can help you with. Please support your LNS through this time that their doors have to be closed. Place orders with them. Support your online shops, your small business shops. 123 Stitch has lots of stuff, but at this time they're super delayed in shipping, as kind of everybody is. So it's a perfect opportunity to try out like other online shops that you might not ordinarily go to. So that's just a general plug. 123 Stitch is a great resource. I know personally I'm stocking up on DMC in my shop. It's kind of a hassle to carry a lot of, but since like it's gonna be a little harder to get your hands on when you need just that one random color. So I have a whole bunch of DMC that is just waiting to be put into the shop. But also like, yeah, you get it. Support the shops, be well and stitch, be kind to each other, stay indoors, stay home. Let me know what you're binge watching, because I need a few more shows in my life. Shout out to my girl Rocio, because she said, if you're worried it's too late to make a Nashville market video, it's not. We're ready for it. So you are partially the inspiration for today's filming. And that's it. Thanks, guys.